so bad. You want to hit my vape so bad?
I want to hit your
What?
vape.
Welcome back to the Title Ending Podcast. We're your hosts on days like today.
Days like these.
My name is Willow. This is my partner, Kay.
Hey.
And today, we're just going to have a chit-chat. We're gonna take a break from the games, the last-minute planning, and we're just going to chill. We just saw Sienna. We went to go get grilled cheeses. It was a good time. Delicious. Absolutely.
Oh my god.
What?
I didn't know you were
do
going
the
to
same
do that
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So we wanted to discuss something we've been indulging in the past couple of weeks, and a lot of people that I've seen that I'm friends with have also been indulging in as well.
Yes.
And that is the lovely CW show from the year 2003, One
Yeah.
Tree Hill.
Fantastic show.
So I have seen it already. I have watched it beginning to end, and I think that was the only time I watched it beginning to end. I've seen clips otherwise. I'm rewatching with you when you're here, and sometimes on my own I'll watch an episode or two from where we leave off.
Yeah.
But Kay is watching it for the first time.
We're almost to the end of season 3 right now. This show, so I started it about a month ago.
You're welcome.
Thank you. But I did first try to watch it when I was in 7th grade.
Interesting.
And I watched the first episode because a bunch of my friends watched it, and they're like, oh my god. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't like basketball. I'm annoyed. So I turned it off and never watched it again.
That's the same reason I didn't watch Friday Night Lights. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't care about
I'm like,
football.
I don't care.
And it has nothing to do with the sport.
No, it
But
doesn't.
it does have enough to do with the sport where, like, I can see it turning someone off to it.
But I'm also
But nothing in detail, you know?
Right. But, like, I feel like I'm at, like, the perfect sweet spot right now to be watching it because...
You are. These are the best. These are the best
Yes.
seasons from, like, season, I want to say 3 to, like, 5 or 6.
I feel like 3 through
Peak.
5, especially
Yeah.
on a show that gets, like, 7 to, like, 9 plus seasons.
Right.
Like...
The
3 through
middle is
5.
really where they thrive, I think.
They finally found their, like, footing with what they want to do and how,
Right.
like, the characters are, but they're still developing.
Right,
Which is
exactly. They're
good.
not perfect. Things are going to go wrong. They haven't run out of ideas yet.
Exactly.
And I totally agree. And I think it's that way with a lot of TV shows that run this way, where it's like an hour-long episode, but it's like 22 episodes per season.
Right.
Eventually,
Which, bring it back.
But at the same time, sometimes they overstay their welcome.
That's very true.
And you haven't gotten to that point in One Tree Hill yet at all. Like, not even close. You're on season 3 of 9. You're a third of
Yeah.
the way through almost.
Well, I've heard bits and pieces about how after season 6, it's not even worth it to watch. Which I'm still gonna, but...
You might get bored. I'm not gonna lie to you. You might get bored. It is a little weird. I mean, all shows do that weird thing where they're like, we gotta do something new. We gotta do something, like,
Yep.
out of pocket.
Right.
And they sure
jumped
did.
the shark?
Yeah, I mean, they come back for a little bit, and it's, like, good again for a second, and then you're like, all right, I'm tired of this again, and, like, Hailey still hasn't finished it for the first time. She hasn't finished the...
Oh my god, I thought you meant the character. I was like,
Oh,
what
no,
do
no,
you
no,
mean? No.
No,
Yeah.
Hailey,
She hasn't.
executive producer, has not finished all 9 seasons yet,
Interesting.
and it's been, like, I think 4 years since I told her to watch it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch all of it.
You say that now. It's tough to get through. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I think it's a great, like, closure moment in season 9, and I feel like just up to that is worth watching, but
Okay.
I don't know. It's like Scrubs, which is another show you have not seen.
I've seen bits and pieces now at your house, but not fully.
Scrubs is, like, incredible from season 1 to season... I forget what season was the bad season. I want to say, like, season 6 was, like, prime, but they had up to... I think they had 8 seasons, and the 8th season was supposed to be the season 1 of a spin-off, and it didn't pan out. I don't know if I'm getting the numbers right. But anyway, One Tree Hill is a show I recommend to my friends that are miserable and need something...
So camp.
Yeah, just so camp and so, like...
So
but, like, you get attached to the characters
dramatic,
still.
but
So
it's
dramatic,
fun.
and nothing is real. Like,
Yeah.
it is so nice to watch a show where it's like, this would never
Yeah, none of this would
fucking happen.
Oh my god, I have so many issues with that. I'm like, none of this is
Please.
realistic. But
So,
I love it.
as someone who has seen the show, I am wondering what has pissed you off so far. We're 3 seasons in. Spoilers for the first 3 seasons of One Tree Hill. It is a almost 20-year-old show.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it. It's on Max. It's on Hulu. Watch it if you want to watch it. I've seen it. It's good. A lot of my mutuals are watching it right now, so I think we're behind them, though.
Yeah.
A lot of them are ahead of us, so they can watch this episode, but if you haven't reached the...
Season 3, episode 18, I think is what we just finished.
Yeah. Or, no, I think it was 17.
17, one of them. I don't know.
After the big episode of season 3.
Which, fuck you.
Maybe 18. 17 or 18, but we're not done with season 3 yet. But it's about to get nuts, and I'm so excited for your reaction, but we aren't there yet. So what are your issues with the show thus far?
So, okay. So, I have like a little anecdote before I get into that too. So, for the longest time, I didn't really know that it was like a decent show. I thought it was...
Well...
no, like it is though. Like
Decent
from my
is a loose
standards while watching it. Like
I mean, you
thought
just finished House.
Yeah, which fantastic. Watch it. But no, I thought it was supposed to be like a really like shitty, cheesy teen show, like Secret Life of American Teenager for the longest time. And that show is unbearable.
I've never seen that show.
Unbearable. I loved it as a kid. I was like 10 years old.
Well, that was also on ABC Family.
Yeah, but
which is not even a thing anymore.
Nope. Rest in peace.
To a real one. That's what Modern Family was on.
But no, it is not like that at all. It's so much.
So explain to me what Secret Life of the American Teenager is to make it cheesy first, because I don't understand this context.
The writing is like the worst.
Well, come on. One Tree Hill writing's not great either.
Yeah, but like I don't know how to describe it if you haven't seen it. But like,
if you've seen Secret Life of American Teenager and One Tree Hill, maybe you know what they're talking about.
I don't know. I shouldn't have gone down that path. But,
sorry, I'm uncultured.
It's okay. But no. So what were we gonna talk about? So like, what has been pissing me off with it?
Yeah.
While watching it. So a lot of the characters have grown on me a lot. Since the beginning.
Yeah, you didn't like Hailey.
I didn't. And
this is Hailey the character, not Hailey the executive producer of the podcast.
Hailey, I love you.
Hailey James Scott.
Yes.
And I understand.
It's also just like,
whoa. Sorry, guys.
like the way that it is so fucking dramatic every scene too is just like, I'm just like, girl, come on, you know that's not true. Just talk to her.
Like, this would all be solved if you had a conversation.
Right.
That's something I realized rewatching, like, parts of episodes. I'm like,
guys,
this problem could have been, like, solved in one, like, half-hour conversation. Like, if we just, like, sat down and explained what the fuck we were, like, we didn't have to do all that. Which, like, obviously, if they did that, there would be no show.
Right.
So you gotta take it with, like,
yeah.
But, like, I get it. Like, it's like,
it's a
you
CW show.
Yeah. Like, you guys could just fucking talk.
Right.
Like, this is the easiest. But they're also in high school. Which is another crazy thing, because all of these people, except for Dan Lafferty, were, like, in their 20s.
Right. But also the fact, okay, this is a big thing, too, is that anything that happens, they're barely at school, ever. And when they are, it is something that would absolutely not happen in high school. And it's just so funny to me.
Yeah.
Like,
they're, like, having this massive pep rally, or they're going to this away game, and they have to get on the bus, and
they're, like,
only
sleeping in hotels, and they're, like, I'm just like, damn, I mean, I guess that happens.
And they're, like, sharing rooms with their girl. Like, you would not be allowed to share a room.
No.
Like that. Like, I've been on school trips. Oh, also, our mouth noises are crazy. Ew. Can I have some water?
Yeah. Here you go.
Sorry, guys. Ew.
Do you like my water bottle, guys? I have a lot of fun stickers on it.
Do a water bottle tour real quick?
Ooh. Oh,
Born
yours is
Without
downstairs.
Bones shouts out. Do you think that Scotty is watching right now? Probably.
Hey.
Maybe. Hi, guys.
What's up? I don't know. I'm looking behind me.
I don't have any posters of theirs. I did have the Say Hello poster, but I think I took that down to move it and never put it up. Anyway, I mean, a CW show's requirements include like massive drama out of nothing, like
in fan
Pretty
fiction,
Little
like
No,
scenes.
that was ABC Family.
Oh my god, Pretty
Little Liars is a master of that though. Of like none of this is real. None of this is going to happen. But yeah, in One Tree Hill, it is very, I think, like fan servicey at a lot of points. Like stuff that would be written in fan fiction.
Yeah.
Or like just
like
self-insert.
Don't even get me started on the whole Pete Wentz.
Oh my god.
Plotline,
Pete from Fall Out Boy, who apparently is intrigued and interested with this high schooler who is not even 18 years old yet. I wonder how that conversation went when they pitched it to Pete.
He wouldn't have cared.
No, he doesn't seem like the type to have cared.
He dated a 17-year-old when he was 25, so.
Oh, that's mad awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, shouts out Pete Wentz for
Yeah.
being disgusting. That's cool.
Don't completely quote me on that because I could have gotten something wrong, but I remember hearing that and been like,
Well, how old was Ashley Simpson when they dated?
I don't know.
Whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
Pete Wentz is Pete Wentz, and Pete Wentz gonna Pete Wentz. I don't know.
Pete Wentz gonna Pete Wentz, whether Pete Wentz Wentz's or Wentz.
I think the reason that they got away with this is because in North Carolina the age of consent was 17 ? I don't remember if that's true or not, so that like legally they could do whatever the fuck they want. They like pointed the crazy thing is they pointed it out in the show.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm 17, I'm in high school.
How are we gonna make our relationship work when you're on tour and I'm in high school? Like that's your answer.
Like
you don't. You are
LOL
17.
next. And like, I mean, obviously this was like fake, and I don't know what Pete Wentz's deal was IRL, but this TV show he was like, just that's fine, like fucking okay, just aged really poorly. I think. I mean, this whole show, a lot of its charm, if that's the word you want to use,
oh my god,
is ages poorly.
Something like happened and I was like, it was like something like super transphobic and I was like,
sure,
yo,
definitely
I can't
does not
believe
surprise me.
Nathan just said that and I was like -2 from my favorite character points list. Like
I mean,
but it's also 2006 right now.
But like that's a crazy thing is that was okay.
So normal.
All of that was okay on like network television.
Yeah, like.
And, like, we'll watch that today and we'll be like, dude.
Yikes.
But it's not something that we can be like, oh, that's, like, problematic to watch because that's every piece of content from the...
Right.
Like, it's bad. And we all knew it was bad.
Exactly.
Even then, people were, like, commenting on it and being like, well, you're 17. Legally, this is weird. This is a gray area. But we're still gonna do it because this is real life. And that's what was happening in the early 2000s, believe it or not. Like...
a hellscape.
Yeah. I mean, I know all this secondhand from, like, looking in... What do you mean performance issues?
Your performance is having issues. Thank you. Anyways, what were you saying? I forget what I was going to say after you said no.
But, I don't know. This TV show is very blatantly, like, of its time.
Yeah. And so this is, like, the third, like, 2000s show that I've watched like fully and like immersed myself in throughout like the past like 7 to 8 months. I started with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Fantastic show. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Watch it.
That's one I'd tell everyone ever to ever watch.
Greatest show of all time. And then I watched House MD to switch it up a little bit, but still very 2000s. That was a fun one. And now this. Where do I go from here?
See, that's the tough part. Because 2000s had so much crazy shit going on TV show-wise. All of my favorite shows are from that era. How I Met Your Mother.
Yep.
Like...
That 70s show.
That 70s show was, like, late 90s, right?
98 to 2006.
Friends, even, which was, like, the 90s. But... like from the late 90s early 2000s that's just my shit. Malcolm in the Middle, yeah,
still one of my favorites. I should rewatch that.
Gilmore Girls was a big one for me. We tried watching My Name is Earl. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah,
I loved that show.
Vampire Diaries, Supernatural, like
Supernatural.
just shows that started in like 99 to like 97 if you count Buffy, to like 2003. That's my shit. And I think it's so funny to watch them now and be like, this wouldn't happen.
No.
This wouldn't this wouldn't make sense. This would be a controversy of an episode, especially if it was as popular as some of the TV shows I listed.
Well, it's also really funny to compare it to like today too, because so many issues and plot points in all of these shows can be so easily fixed by just having a cell phone and texting someone.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially when I was watching Buffy, I was like, guys, it's 2002. I think you can have cell phones by now.
I'm like, just get a fucking cell phone,
right?
Dude. I mean,
like,
even in One Tree Hill, they had cell phones, and they
still
somehow managed to
miscommunicate everything.
Oh my god, everything.
That's the biggest thing with TV shows too, is that everything is built on all these little miscommunications,
right.
And it just makes me so angry while
But at
watching
the same
it.
time, isn't just like that's drama.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Is like not understanding the context.
Yep.
And it's so funny to see how dramatic it is, but at the same time, like...
But it's so entertaining.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Euphoria was a big one.
Oh my god.
And, dude, if you think Euphoria is bad, I need you guys to go back and watch Skins. I need you to watch Shameless. I need you to understand that this is, I mean, obviously an exaggerated version in one way or another, and Sam Levinson is a fucking creepo, and we know that.
Yeah.
But these are, I mean, obviously exaggerated. We're like, this is such a podcast thing to do and be like, TV shows are exaggerated versions of real life. Like,
they're so dramatic.
Like, yeah, duh. Like, you guys know what we're
yapping.
saying. We're fucking yapping about things that we enjoy. But the 2000s are a fascinating era for me in so many ways, and One Tree Hill encapsulates that so well because it shows the music.
I was gonna say, yeah, especially the music on the show.
Yeah,
literally been like, every time I watch an episode, I will sit there and like Shazam songs and then add it to my playlist, which
right.
I will link below.
I did the same.
Forget.
I did the same thing with Shameless. I heard so many songs I really loved and made a playlist out of it, and like that was a show I told everyone to watch. I was like, God, this show is so real and good and well done, except, you know, obviously like every show with 8+ seasons, it does fall off at some point, and there were a few moments where it like, it's so over, we're so back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that was the biggest like one, like
roller coaster of a fucking show. But it makes, especially if you're watching it as it came out.
Me too. Yeah, I
like
did.
the last few seasons I was watching it.
I think
weekly.
I watched from 6 on while it was airing.
Same,
yeah.
6 or 7 or something. No, I remember watching the end of season 7.
Yeah.
Live, and I like I was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not gonna spoil that yet. But if you know Shameless, you know season 7, the ending. Fuck you.
Actually, I don't remember what happens.
What Mickey and Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
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 Bad. Cried my little baby eyeballs out. And I was like 16, 17 when that came out.
Yeah. I
Fucking
remember.
crazy. And I was watching that. I watched Skins when I was like 13. That's a crazy thing about these shows is they're watched by children.
Yeah.
Because some of this is just on TV anyway. I mean, if you didn't have parental controls, and this was before parental controls, I think.
My parents didn't monitor my internet
Me
activity.
either. They didn't.
Activity.
I have a horrible story about how I got the internet completely taken away from me when I was like 10 years old.
Ooh.
Because I emailed my grandfather because he tried to fix our computer and he didn't. And I got so pissed. I was like 9, something stupid. I emailed him. My dad was like, "That was awful. Don't do that. You're not allowed on the internet anymore." And I was like, "Okay."
Oh, that's
Threw
fair.
a tantrum. It was miserable.
Oh my god, childhood tantrums.
Dude, I was a kid and I was like yelling at my grand. It was awful.
Aww.
I felt so bad afterwards. I was like, I'm kind of a dickhead. Like looking
Aw.
back on that now, I'm like, ew.
You're
What
a child.
bitch. I know. But no, I didn't. Before then, and a lot of the time after that, I was not monitored on the internet. I didn't get my, like, the things I read monitored. I read Animal Farm.
Ooh.
From
My dad suggested I read that in,
it's
like,
about
5th
communism.
grade. Yeah.
It's weird.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I read it in, I want to say 4th grade. Because it was the only book in the library with a Lexile score, if you remember that word.
I remember that. Holy shit.
Like, even close to mine, and it was still a lot lower. Brag. No, I'm just kidding. But I read it, and I, like, was like, I shouldn't. I'm 10.
This wasn't meant
I'm
for
10.
me.
Yeah, no. Which, you know. I read Chuck Palahniuk's books when I was like 13. Crazy. Shouldn't have.
I don't think I ever really read any like inappropriate books for my age, to be
You were
honest.
reading fan fiction though,
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
which
Yeah.
I was too.
I started
for
reading
sure.
fan fiction at like 10 years old.
I think I was 12. Because I didn't have that One Direction phase. I started a little late. I wasn't ever reading Paramore fan fiction. That was like the only thing I was into. I didn't even read like TV show or movie fan fiction, which I think is kind of funny.
I read a lot of Supernatural. Yeah.
The first one I read actually was Shameless. Like the first one, no, that's not even true. The first ones I read were Panic at the Disco, but the first one I read for a TV show that I was like really, really into was Shameless, and it was Galavich. I was like, this is
of course
maladaptive daydreaming type shit, and I was like not even involved at that point, so I was like reading it for the story.
Oh my god.
There was one where Ian was like a mobster, and now that I've watched The Sopranos, I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. So I
it's
can
like
see
some
the parallels.
14-year-old writing this, and
Yeah.
it's like
But it was really good. It was really good.
like this is so completely off topic from everything we're talking about, but not really. It kind of segues back. I remember one of the first like fanfics that I read in like 6th or 7th grade about Fall Out Boy.
Oh no.
Just a brief synopsis is that it was the apocalypse.
Sure.
And the only detail I remember about it is that Patrick had to go to a corner store to buy milk for his family, but milk cost like $30 a gallon in this universe now because it was the apocalypse. And I just remember that I found this on Instagram, and turns out that this person went to my school. And I was like, that's yours? And so it was just funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I was like, we must be friends.
That's crazy.
Right.
Also, that just sounds like a bad dream.
Yeah.
Milk being $30 because it's
Crazy.
post-apocalyptic. Like, what do you mean? You don't even have milk.
Right? Like,
What do you mean you're selling milk?
Right? Like, where's it coming from?
Like, do you have a cow?
Do you have a secret cow?
Plot holes, guys.
Come on.
But like, back to these shows. These shows are just so. They're not made like this anymore. They really aren't making them like
built
this,
like this
anymore.
No.
I have not come close to a show present day. Maybe The Bear. The Bear has The Bear being a very dramatic piece of work that is also well enjoyable, but like, it's not 22 episodes of teenagers yelling at each other. I don't know. I don't know.
I need filler episodes. I want holiday episodes.
Yes.
Give me
filler
substance.
episodes are a lost art, I think.
They really are.
Because we
you love them and you hate them. You miss them when they're gone.
Right, real. Like, even in Supernatural, like Yellow Fever.
Oh my god, I loved that one.
That was one of my favorite episodes, constant rewatch. Buffy the Vampire Slayer had quite a bit of, like, really sick filler episodes that were also just funny.
One Supernatural one, do you remember changing channels?
Is that the one with the jokester, trickster, whatever the fuck his name is?
Like, the first time.
They're in, like, a sitcom, and then they're like,
with the sandwich.
I loved that fucking episode,
I loved
dude.
that one. That just popped in my head for the first time in, like, 10 years.
Like, I like a show that doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's, like, The Bear takes itself very seriously. It's a very serious drama. Succession, as far as I'm aware, is a very serious drama. But, like, even shows like Shameless, like, they take themselves very seriously. But to go back to One Tree Hill and, like, Vampire Diaries even, and Supernatural, they, like, had fun. And they, like, had enough room. Sorry. Now everything's straight to streaming, and people start binging them, and they watch 10 episodes, and then they forget what happens when the next season comes out, because they watch them all in a week.
And it doesn't come out for another 2 or 3 years.
Right, exactly. And I sound like my dad when I complain about this stuff, because this is something he complains about all the time.
But it's true.
He's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, Avatar, for example, the live action on Netflix came out. We hate it. We're not fans.
Boo.
Kay has never seen the original material.
Hey, I saw 7 minutes of the first episode.
Cool.
I got bored and turned it off.
That hurts my feelings, but also you're 23 years old. Yeah. So, like, if you didn't watch it every Saturday morning with your parents and your sister,
I might have missed the train.
You might have. But, like, it's an incredible show. Like, it's one of those shows that I would... That's how I feel about Adventure Time, too.
See, I never really watched it that
either.
much.
But like I got on that train when it was on HBO Max. I was like, I'm gonna fucking watch the lesbians, okay?
I didn't even watch it. You did. I know. I didn't.
Hailey's gonna come for you.
Sorry. I don't think I had
Fake
HBO
lesbian.
at the time. Hey, I
You
love
have
Bubbling.
Dude.
But
Yeah, I would hope so. Your fucking profile picture on Max is
yeah,
bubblegum.
I love them. I just didn't really watch it.
Whack.
You didn't watch the original show.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
And I feel like I missed out on it because I will try so hard to watch it and just not understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I know it gets deep and it gets really, really good. And I want to get to that point, but I have to get past that. Like, those first seasons of just nonsense.
Right.
Which, like, is fun, but I'm 24 years old.
Did you watch Gravity Falls all the way through?
I watched it with my sister, and I watched most of it. I think I missed an episode here or there, but it was good. Like, towards the end, I was very interested in it.
That was one where it, like, got deep, too, like that.
Yeah.
And stuff. I was like, I watched it, like, when
Another
it was
one
on.
with a weird age gap relationship that, like, Wendy and Dipper.
Oh, yeah.
It was just weird to me.
Like that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Just not necessary.
what,
Also a
12
Disney
and
show.
16?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
But
know.
Yeah. Okay, that cycle ended. We need a new.
Well, back to One Tree Hill, because this is the
Yes.
root of all of our words and phrases right now.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I'm so articulate.
Yes,
I don't
you
think
are.
that's even how you say that.
That's my writer.
Barely anymore. I don't know about that. One Tree Hill is an enigma in itself because
An enigma.
and as you continue with the show, you'll realize that they don't leave the town.
No, never.
And if they do, they always come back and they always like need to be there. And for like this teeny tiny town in North Carolina, I think North Carolina, has everything that these kids could need so that they never leave. And like that Dan has never left. Keith never left.
And it's just so funny because right now where I'm at, they're talking about college and stuff. And it's just like, I want to go to Duke. I'm going to go to Stanford or whatever. And it's like, are you?
Are you?
Are you actually going to leave Tree Hill? I doubt that.
Like, and if you do, and how do you not see that the world out there is better? Like, even in the episodes where they leave Tree Hill, they make it like the worst experience
Oh my God,
ever.
something awful always
Every
happens.
time they leave the town, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And like they're like, oh, I need to be in my comfy, cozy little.
It's like Barbie Land.
Yeah. That's Tree Hill
Is
is Barbie Land.
Yep. They have to stay in their
Hashtag.
bubble. It's like the Simpsons dome too from the
Oh my
Simpsons
God.
movie.
You leave and you're contaminated.
Yeah.
And you can't come back, or you come back and you're fucking miserable the entire time. That show is also the show to like go to places that probably it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
It does some things that it doesn't really have the ability to do well enough, or I
Like
guess.
what?
Well,
Is it the episode we just watched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it felt very like
Thrown together.
we need a PSA episode,
Because-
and I think that's what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
Was that okay? Because I didn't remember that character at all.
Jimmy?
Yeah. Was he in the beginning?
He was in maybe 1 or 2 episodes in the first season, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, he was not ever. I don't think he even had a line. And honestly, I think they did that on purpose. If they were smart, and this was actually a show that did write ahead, which I don't know if it is. I don't know if they made it like this was the plan the whole time. I feel like
Probably not.
No show
Might
in
have had
the
a general outline.
right. This isn't like a show that was mapped. This isn't.
But they are
Stranger
like,
Things.
this character is gonna do this.
Yeah.
In season 3.
Like there's no way.
No.
But if they were smart, they would have like made us like kind of know who he
Given
is.
a hint or something.
Yeah, and like a few episodes before, like maybe thrown him in there a little bit even.
Right.
But like,
well, like that's kind of like what they did. Like when I was watching it, I thought about the episode of Buffy, like with Jonathan in the tower and stuff, and I'm just like, interesting. And
they did show who Jonathan was a few times before that. But
and
like,
I remembered him from then, but I'm just like, oh, They're doing that.
Well, like, not well.
Yeah.
They're
just,
doing...
like, a little poorly or executed.
It's like, oh, remember this kid from, like, the pilot episode? That we didn't even give a name at that point, I don't think. But, like, here you go. He's actually, like...
And he's like, what's my name? You know my name. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know your name, actually, and I don't think we were ever introduced. But that's another thing about One Tree Hill is it is very, like, everyone knows each other. Yes. So how do you not know this kid that you grew up with? Like, yeah. I mean, I know people, but I'm that type of person, I guess. But, like, and you can't really be mad if people don't know who you are.
Right.
I don't know. It just feels very, like...
hundreds, if not thousands of people in a school. So, like, you're not going to know every
But at the same time, if that's your train of thought, you're obviously not thinking straight. Anyway. Right. Yeah. So I can't even... But, I don't know. I felt like that storyline, especially in that time period, was very, like...
It's just like, hey...
Like, not sick.
Yeah. Just, like... Yeah. Yeah. Great addition. Well, like you said before, like, they just needed, like, a PSA episode is what it felt like.
I mean, didn't TV shows have to do that at some point? Like, they were all required to do, like, a fucking, like, social service message.
Maybe.
What is it called? A public service announcement.
Social services.
Social service. I'm calling CPS, actually.
Oh my god. But no, like, fucking...
I don't know if that's true. I feel like I heard that somewhere.
I mean,
making
like,
shit up.
There's things, like, where, like, the network, in order to keep giving shows, like, funding, they're like, hey, you have to do this PSA about underage
usually drinking. It was more, like drinking and drugs.
And or, like, we aren't going to give you money for these next episodes if you don't make this one.
Yeah, and I don't remember where I heard that. I think I was watching a documentary or something.
About Buffy, I'm pretty sure. It was the Beer Bad episode.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Okay.
Which, that one you can
bring
tell
it back.
Buffy.
Beer Bad is the biggest joke of a Buffy episode in the worst season of Buffy, season 4.
Yep.
They get her drunk off this, like, fucking magic beer or something that makes her into a caveman, and that's supposed to be their message for, like, underage drinking and, like, drinking being a fucking coping mechanism or whatever the fuck. But
it's just, you can tell that they didn't give
a fuck. They didn't give a fuck. And I don't think One Tree Hill... One Tree Hill tried to give a fuck, I think.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's also a lot more serious of a topic,
I don't think they should have done that.
No.
I don't think it was necessary. Like, if they wanted... Spoiler alert. If they really wanted to kill Keith...
Well, like, Dan was gonna kill him anyway.
Yeah, but
why'd you have to shoot Peyton?
Why did Peyton have to get fucking shot in the leg and, like, also kiss her best friend's boyfriend again?
Right. I didn't even realize I was actually, like, crocheting with this. Oh my god.
Guys, what am I gonna do with them? You're gonna undo this, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, right then. Like, look. Well, now I'll undo it.
No respect for my property. None at all. None at all.
Fidget.
Okay? That's fine. You didn't have to crochet it together. These wires are faulty as it is.
It's undone.
Is that why the fucking thing was fucking clicking in and out? Or is that me because I have a tiny, teeny, tiny wire?
I didn't hear it at all.
Anyway.
It's your tiny little wire.
Teeny little wire.
Teeny.
Dude, guys, I'm so blind. It's insane.
33.
Okay. What were we saying?
Jorking it. Sorry. No, what were we saying?
Jorking peanuts. Peanuts. It's my peanuts.
My peanuts.
What is this? What are we doing?
I forget what we were saying. Something.
That's true.
Why did they have to, like, do that?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't have an answer for that.
No.
But you're about to get to... Okay, so if you're wondering why they did that episode where they made it a very serious, weird... It's about to get fucking nuts. Like, if you want the drama, the fucking uneasiness, the cringe to be dialed up...
Give it to me.
From the episode that we just watched.
Yes.
Buckle up, dude.
Oh, I'm so
because it's
ready.
about to whoa, it's about to get crazy, and I'm so excited to watch your reaction. I think we should watch at least one more episode before you leave.
Okay.
Because shit's about to go sideways, upside down, inside out, like fucking
round and round,
right around town. It's gonna get scary. So I'm very excited for you.
I'm
to
scared.
deal with that. Meanwhile, I am still. What was that?
I didn't talk to you.
You're crocheting it again.
No, I'm not. What? I didn't see anything.
Okay, but I do.
What?
I see it right there. Oh my god. Whatever.
What was that? Oh, okay. I don't agree, but speak your truth. I need water. What was that?
Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. Thank you.
Anyways.
So, if you were in One Tree Hill, what would your story be?
Ooh, okay. So
Because if you know One Tree Hill, everybody has this. Everybody has a desire. Everybody has, like, their arc that they go through. Major character development, major shift in the paradigm because something happens and whatever the fuck. So, if you were to write the most dramatic story for a character of yours,
Okay. Well,
what would it be? Off the dome is that's a lot of pressure, so don't think too much about it.
that's okay. I actually have an answer for once. So obviously I would be the token ginger. There. Fuck Rachel.
Rachel die challenge.
Die. I would definitely be best friends with Peyton, if not lovers with Peyton. No.
See, if I could change one thing, I'd make Peyton a lesbian.
Oh, absolutely. But, like, yeah, no, like, literally, like, we'd be besties. Like, we both have an extensive vinyl record collection. I would run the club with her. That would be so sick. Be like, yeah, Fall Out Boy, can you play?
So you would just be a token girlfriend character.
No, I'm
What's
not
your
done yet.
story?
My story is that I moved to Tree Hill from Boston after my dad died in, like, a boating accident or something. I don't know. That's awful.
Also derivative, because Peyton's dad almost died in a boating accident in the first season.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
What do you mean you didn't remember that? We watched that together.
Oh.
Do you not remember that, where she had to go identify the body?
Oh, yeah, no, I do remember that.
Yeah.
That was season 2, actually, I think.
Whatever.
I don't know. I don't remember season 1, but,
There's nothing to remember about season 1, really.
yeah.
Nothing important. Anyway, continue.
I like apples. I don't know. I can't. I already made up too
much pressure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what his story is. No.
Your character eats cardboard?
Yes, actually. I don't know. I've never thought about a character.
Well, maybe not a character, but, like, if you were to incorporate your high school drama into One Tree Hill without, traumatizing yourself by talking about it, what would your, like, big scandal be? If you had to have one, because I have one, so.
Do you want to tell yours first?
I've told mine before. I don't know if I've told it on the podcast, but senior year of high school, I came out as a lesbian. This was before I went to Greece and decided I wasn't a lesbian. I just hated American men, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. I actually had a crush on someone.
Meet a Greek man?
No, I just had a crush on someone who was on the trip with me, actually, who went to my high school, and it was bad. But then I later came out as a lesbian again. So,
Woo!
But when I came out the first time, which was, are you okay?
I punched my ear.
The entire high school football team at my high school called me Mrs. Heisman. And the Heisman Trophy is, like, you have the ball, and then you're, like...
Yeah.
So, it was the idea that, like, I was repelling...
Saying no balls.
No balls. No men.
No balls.
No men can approach me, blah, blah, blah. And they would all just say, hey, Miss Heisman, in the fucking hallway.
I've been like, yeah, you want no balls either, bitch?
Yeah, like, that's the piece of lore that, that tweet that's going around that's, like, drop a piece of lore about yourself. I haven't tweeted yet, because, like, I don't know, I don't like talking about it. most of the time. But that would be,
Yeah.
like, obviously, it wasn't that dramatic in the grand scheme of things. Like, hindsight is 2020, and it was really not that deep. But
I do have
it was dramatic at the time because it was high school, and everything was dramatic.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is why these shows exist, is because it's like, what if high school was what you thought it was?
Damn.
Like, what if it was
Yeah.
exactly what it felt like?
Right.
This is what it would be. And it would
I
be like,
was
oh,
so
that's fucking
scared.
ridiculous. But, like, and then in your head, you're like, this could happen.
Right?
'Cause
I was
I'm
so scared of
16.
high school when I was like a kid. I was like, I don't want to
Same.
do this. I don't want any of this.
Same.
But no, so a piece of lore I have from 9th grade. I was 15, and in my science class, my teacher was like very open, blah blah blah. Like, we found his Instagram account and stuff, and like he would be like, oh, like, don't follow it, whatever, and stuff, which is fine. No, he let us follow it. That's what it was. I was
that's
just like,
weird. That's
first of all,
kind of weird. You're minors.
yeah. This I'm not very proud of anymore.
You
but
were
it's,
also a child. Keep that in mind.
It's funny. There was no real harm done at all.
You're gonna say this, and I'm gonna be like,
So he also owned a chain. He franchised a burger restaurant in our town, which is now gone.
sure.
And so I created a fan page on Instagram for my teacher. But nobody in the class knew who it was, and I was like, it was a secret. It was like a thing.
Oh my god.
And I would anonymously post on this account and make edits and shit.
Did they ever find out it was you?
It lasted 3 days because I posted a screenshot, and they found out, they saw the little Sprint thing in the top corner of my screenshot,
Fucking
and this
Sherlock
girl
Holmes.
in my class went around to everyone's phone and deduced who had Sprint and who didn't, and put it down to 2 of us, and the person was like, it was the... And I was like... So I walked into class the next day, and the giant whiteboard, it just said, it was me. And like they put like my name on the board. They found out, and it was awkward, and the teacher never liked me again after that. I've seen him at my job multiple times. He will not look at me at all. He remembers probably, but he also is a famous TikToker now, and it's so funny to me.
So why does he have a problem with, like, you started his career? What do you...
Right?
Like, you gave him
Well,
the
because
confidence.
I also had the huge spam page at that time.
Yeah.
So I sent people to follow him, and like everyone commented like the same
That's-
word and stuff as like a fun prank, whatever.
I mean, you were a kid. And
Yeah.
the fact that he let you follow... I mean, he should have... Sorry.
private.
The adult is never the one
He's-
innocent in this situation where a child is involved. Sorry.
No, yeah.
You were 15.
Yep.
Like, yeah, that's normal. That's
Right.
something I would... Yeah.
Yeah. But I almost like literally like threw up like 6 times because I was so scared to go to school after that I got found out. I was like
Oh, well,
literally
yeah.
afraid. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna like get kicked out of school.
And it wasn't even... I mean, there was probably a lot of fear. Yeah, definitely. There was also, like, shame and embarrassment.
Yeah.
Because in high school, that's the main emotion.
Yeah.
And the main thing I felt.
Definitely.
I-
And middle school and elementary school.
Yeah, and
A
now.
lot of my life.
And I feel
I've
shame
felt
all the time. I mean, honestly, I've gotten over a lot of it. I have... What are we doing
Shut
now?
the fuck
What are we
up.
doing now?
Oh, now it's gone.
Fuck you.
Well, it's because your mouse fell.
Oh, lol.
Lol.
I don't know. I mean, I've grown up to the point where, like, if people don't like me,
I don't care.
and then you realize a lot of it is just masking neurodivergency of some kind, and just
True.
realizing how exhausting it is to do that all the time because you're in high school and because you're in middle school and because you're supposed to act a certain way, or they're gonna find you out, and there's always this like anxiety of being found out for
Yeah.
what, I don't know, because it's normal to be neurodivergent, especially now, and especially after what we went through 4 years ago.
Right.
We're all kind of a little fucked up in one way or another because we all went through this insane traumatizing experience, whether you want to admit it or not. So to go through that, imagine doing that in high school after already having this like harbored shame because you're supposed to act a certain way, you're supposed to
Right.
be interested in certain things, and you go through an entire isolation period where you're only with yourself and you can only do the things that you enjoy to spark joy. Because I
Right.
remember with the fucking I was doing shit that like
Being in college then, especially freshman
yeah.
year of college, I think was a rough place to be in when that hit, and unfortunately I had the luxury of experiencing that. Trying to befriend people in college while like moving to a dorm in the city, and then like literally just trying to be an adult like off at college for the first time, and then you just have to be like, LOL, nope. So now you're never gonna like see anyone, meet anyone, network, or be able to like actually do any assignments like for art school.
Right.
So
like you can't do art school online.
No, you can't.
And that's something that like,
and I've been like going through my time hop, and I'm seeing like screenshots I had of like assignments and stuff from like my professors at that point, and oh my god, it was batshit insane. I do not blame myself
Hailey was
for
going through
withdrawing
the same thing
and just dropping out.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Hailey was going through the same thing. She powered through it. I don't know how she did it, because she was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this without like a studio, without, you know, getting critiques from my classmates, or because like they can't really see what I'm doing the same way that, because like she had to upload pictures of her work. Like that's not seeing your work, that's seeing a picture of your work.
Right? Like I was literally in classes for like 3D things and stuff, and like the teacher's like, you need to be taking better pictures. I'm like, I don't have a studio or anything to do.
I'm taking pictures on my phone. You want to give me a DSLR? What do you...
I'm like, what do you want from me? I'm still trying to hand in my assignments. Right? I'm like, I haven't totally given up yet, which I did.
I mean, but like at the same time, these teachers like have never been through this either, and they don't know how to handle it, and they need someone to take it out on, is what it seemed like.
Oh, definitely.
I dropped out months before. Like I dropped out in December of 2019, and I was like, I one of my professors emailed me and was like, hey, do you plan on keeping this class? And I was like, oh, actually I withdrew this morning.
Oh my god, that happened to me. Like it was like at like after lockdown started and stuff, but like one of my classes, it was like a regular like sit down like lecture class about fucking architecture, and it was the only history class I could get into, and I didn't want to do it. Yeah, literally it was me and, like there was a couple of freshmen, but it was a bunch of like juniors in there, and it was like really awkward and stuff. So like I literally just like straight up stopped attending like the Zoom meetings and stuff, and like never handed in any assignments, and just kind of like quietly like slipped out.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like,
yeah, I was like, no,
you didn't see anything,
right? But then he like emailed me,
yeah,
and he's like, hey, like we didn't get like a final exam from you, and I was like, oh, I decided to drop out. I'm sorry.
I'm not a student here anymore.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And like I was so stressed out and just so like bad.
Very Buffy dropping out of college-esque type shit.
And like he emailed me back, he's like, I'm worried. And I was like, please, like I hope you're okay. And I was like, oh, I'm like this.
I mean, we're all going through some shit right now. Like,
and I was like, don't worry about me, bro.
It's sad because a lot of people like really wanted to go through with whatever they wanted to go through with, and they had this huge thing hit them. So like if you're looking for a new show to pitch to CW,
right,
Pandemic College, I don't think you should call it that, but
Pandemic College,
or like, I mean, I think it's, I don't know if people would want to watch anything involving the lockdown ever, but
love love in lockdown. It's like a Tinder like documentary.
Isn't that a song? Isn't Love Lockdown a song?
I don't know.
From like the 2000s? Hold on.
By who? Aerosmith?
No.
That was the first name that came to mind. I don't know. We're in
Boston natives, Aerosmith.
Yeah. Because they have...
Oh no. My God. What?
They have a song called Love in an Elevator.
By Kanye West, bro.
Kanye West? I don't listen to him. Oh my god.
Yeah, but everyone knows this song. It's a no?
I grew up in an anti-Kanye West household.
So did I. I think every white family did, because
that's true.
They were horrible people.
I just don't like him as a person.
Oh yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
But like even back then, parents were like, "This is bad for my children." I mean, he was always a dickhead, but like,
yeah.
I mean, we made the right decision. Look at him now.
Rough.
A piece of shit. Incredible musician, incredible talent.
Yeah,
totally.
He does have a few good songs,
but like
that I know. But
such a scary person.
Would not want to ever be around that.
No. Moving on.
Anyways, What are we at now?
40 something. 49. So we got like 10 more minutes. What do we got to chat about for 10 minutes? How are you guys? What are we up to? What are the vibes here today?
Handing them the microphone.
You're getting a tattoo, right?
Oh, I am fixing this one finally.
Oh, right. Yes. We are. Yes. I'm so excited for you.
Shitty.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Look at all that is such complete different thickness. None of it. Look at this part.
Ooh, I never even seen it. Okay, so maybe I was talking to Caitlin while she was doing this one, and she was like, "It's gonna be tough about your tattoo," and I was like,
"About mine?
Yeah."
Oh my god. Oh,
but like, she was like, "No, I'm like pumped to do it." Like,
Good.
she's like, "I think we can do something with it," but like,
yeah,
it's rough to look at, and I was like, "Yeah, dude."
Like, I don't even mind the like design itself.
I mean, as long as no one's like squinting up at it, which like you are, because it's on you,
right?
And it's in a place where like you see it all the time.
Yeah,
it's a struggle. I don't know.
It's okay. I didn't spend enough money on it, and I knew that at the time, so I can't even be mad about it.
When did you get that tattoo?
March 2021.
Use that stimulus money?
Yeah.
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 I would not be as covered as I am if not for that fucking stimulus, which I kind of regret.
I'm like thinking about the amount of money I could have saved up right now if I didn't buy useless shit during lockdown.
For sure. But at the same time,
I needed to entertain myself.
Real. I got a Nintendo Switch.
Yup.
I think that's when I actually not invested, but I bought a PS4 from my friend at the time. And played The Last of Us for the first time. That was, talk about damaging your psyche. The amount of content I consumed, and I talked to my therapist about this while it was happening. I was like, I'm like playing this video game that I really like, and she's like, oh, what's it about? And I told her the plot of The Last of Us, and she's like, and you're enjoying that? And I was like, yeah, it's like nice escapism, like I can just like, you know, chill. And she's like, isn't that like really violent though? And I'm like, I mean, I guess, but like whatever. I'm like not really associating the violence as like real or really like absorbing that. She's like, well, you kind of do subconsciously, and I was like,
yeah, but I'm
like having a fun time.
Let me play my game.
It's either this or I go out and roller skate. And I don't want to go
roller skating era.
My fucking roller skating era was so fucking funny looking back on it because I never got good, but I was like mediocre. Yeah. And like I've always been mediocre at roller skating. I used to go to fucking indoor roller rinks with my friends in like 5th grade.
I always wanted to go there so bad, but every time I went, I would like end up having such a bad time because I wouldn't be able to, and then I would just get frustrated and like get like mad, and then they'd be like, okay, you're not allowed here again. I remember like one time I fell on my wrist.
For the future.
I fell on my wrist and like I literally thought I broke it, and like I was like in pain, and they were just like, you're ruining the birthday party. Get off.
Like,
walk it off.
It's not about you. Like, you're fine. Put some dirt on it.
Rub some dirt on it and get up.
Ugh.
But yeah.
No, you weren't allowed to be a sensitive kid because if you're a sensitive kid, especially like people have talked about this over and over again, but the 2000s, segueing back and making a fucking full circle moment, guys, right in the nick of time.
Because I'm back in the nick of time.
And the attack of the fickle man, I'm a Jekyll and beside
yeah,
and I'm out. Poof. Anyway,
that's what he says.
I know that for a fact. But if you were sensitive, and I definitely got this firsthand because I was. If you were a sensitive kid in that time, from like I want to say when I was in elementary school, especially to probably 8th grade,
like 2005 to 2015.
Be, like if you were a crier of any kind, if you were like an empath, or like you felt things hard and you were emotional, you would not have the friends that you wouldn't have friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or you would have friends that, like, always made you feel like shit about being emotional. I had that for the longest time. Until I found Sienna, my friend groups, they were like, you cry a lot. And I'm like, I'm going through it. My parents just got divorced. I'm 12.
Right?
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going through this, like, whole crisis, and I don't have anyone to talk to because if I cry in front of them, I'm a fucking loser.
Oh
and I was, like, even as a girl at the time, like, they didn't want to see you because they were mean.
Yeah.
Girls were so mean.
Middle school
girls are still
especially.
mean, but middle school is... I would never... If you told me I could go back to middle school with all the knowledge I have now and do it again...
It's rough.
No. Even with all I know now and who I am now, if I could go back, no. Because I mean, first of all, I wouldn't be this person without that.
Right.
Which is not to get deep or anything, but...
Where would I be? I would just be back in middle school and I wouldn't know you.
Like, I wouldn't have any desire to go through all that again.
No.
Like, nothing, like, I didn't go to college, I didn't make it, like, even if I knew all that and went back to middle school, I don't think I would go to college, to be honest with you. I don't see myself as someone who, like...
Unless you have every piece of knowledge that you have now, so you know things about the future, and then you get, like, really famous and, like, really rich. Think about it.
Think about it. I know what you're saying. I do.
Yeah. But I can't do that. I don't ever want to step foot in that building again.
No. The people that I subjected myself to in one way or another, whether it was classmates or teachers even, it was torture. It was absolute...
a teacher hate you?
Yes.
The teacher that, like, really hated me just died recently, actually. And
karma's a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. That's awful.
It's like,
but good.
It's a weird feeling.
Yeah. I'm sure it does. I mean, I had a teacher that I really loved die recently, and that was heartbreaking. But, like, I mean, I've had teachers hate me, but I was also a huge people pleaser.
Same.
In middle school and high school especially, I was, like, I got along with teachers for the most part.
Well, this teacher was my first grade teacher, and she literally only hated me because I was neurodivergent, pretty much. And
you shouldn't be a teacher if you can't handle that shit. And I think that's, like, a well agreed upon fact.
Right. But then second grade, I turned that shit around, and my second grade teacher loved me, and we had these stickers that you would get called Caught Being Goods, and, like, you would wear it on your shirt, and so I literally had, like, a whole thing full of them that year because I was like, I'm gonna prove to her that I'm a good kid and a good student, and I am not who she thinks I am. And then I turned that shit around, and I, like, would be like, look at my Caught Being Good right now. Just, like, flashing
No
back.
child should ever feel that their teacher hates them.
Oh my god, yeah.
You should not, especially if you're a younger grade teacher.
Right. Like, first grade.
Elementary school.
Tiny.
Why? What are you doing here?
Like,
if you want to hate your students, go teach college.
Right?
Because then you can hate adults, and then it's normal. But, like,
these are 6-year-olds.
For real. And they don't know any better
in
any sort of sense. So if you're blaming them for the way that they're acting, or if you have personal beef with a first grader,
dude,
get up, dude.
I really felt like she had personal beef with me because I remember 2 specific incidents that she just picked me out and, like, and stuff. Like, one time, like, we would clean off our desks, and she would put, like, shaving cream, and we would practice, like, tracing letters and stuff. We did that, too. And I remember her specifically saying, like, you can only use one hand in the shaving cream, and but a hair fell into the shaving cream, so I was trying to use my hand that wasn't covered in shaving cream to pick the hair out and throw it away. But she saw me with my hand this close to it with my other hand in there, and she, like, started yelling at me and told me to go in timeout, and I had to, like, sit in, like, the corner.
Timeout is crazy.
And I was bawling, sobbing my eyes out the entire time because I missed out on it because she didn't want to hear my side of the story, and just immediately...
They never do. They never ask you what you're doing.
And especially as a young, like, neurodivergent kid that also doesn't know what that means. Like, trying to explain my side of the story is never, like, a talking back excuse. It's never a thing like that. Like, I am just trying to understand the situation, and I want you to also understand it from my perspective. Because, like, I don't have malicious intent. I just want you to, like, see.
I'm in first grade.
Yeah.
I have no malicious intent. I don't even know how to spell malicious.
No.
And I get the talking back thing more than anything. Not in school, but at home quite a bit. Like, I would feel the need to explain myself, and it was seen as talking back. And I know a lot of kids, I've seen it a lot of times, like, people would look back on it and be like, I was just trying to, like,
even
make it clear what was going through my brain. And also, I said this last week, actually, these parents take, like, when kids make mistakes so personally.
Yes.
Like, if your kid fucks up, they take it as, like, a fucking betrayal.
Yeah. Like, it's their character that's being tattered.
Like, that's a child.
Right? Like,
relax.
Hold up. They're 6. They're gonna move past that.
Yeah, like, we're gonna grow up here.
This isn't a forever issue.
You were 6 once. Are you the same as when you were 6? No? Okay.
No.
All right. Great.
Let's pack it up, Karen. But not Karen Rowe. We love her.
Karen Rowe. Swinging it back to One Tree Hill to end the podcast. Who's your favorite character right now?
Peyton.
Okay.
I love her.
Yeah, I see
that. So my top 3 right now. I don't know, actually. Peyton. Brooke has grown on me a lot.
Yeah, she does that. I love her.
Like her as much before, but I like her now. Nathan has grown on me a lot. I do like Lucas's season 3 look with the little soul patch thing going on.
He's got some weird shit.
It's like, so funny.
He'll do something for a season. You're like, what is this?
Hi.
But then you remember he's supposed to be like the artsy, sensitive type guy. So he's like,
he quotes poetry.
Like, shut up. Shut up.
Waldo Emerson once wrote.
Henry David Thoreau. Ernest Hemingway. Like, just the most boring ass.
You're so pretentious.
Classical literature bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. Like, give me some fucking, like, Stephen King. I don't know.
Just something.
Ugh, I don't know. But we're going to end it here. Free Palestine, subscribe to the Patreon, etc., etc. Blah, blah, blah. Everything will be in the bio. All links to everything important. What would you like to end on?
Don't forget to drink your water. Stay hydrated. It's getting warmer out.
Bye, guys.